Enzo Fernández is coming back to a Chelsea squad that no longer looks the way he left it. While he was away, two major signings arrived. One is a younger Argentine who operates in Enzo's spaces. The other is an English attacking force Chelsea did not spend heavily to leave on the bench. Neither has played a competitive minute for Chelsea yet, but before Enzo has even returned, the questions around his position have already started. Xabi Alonso now has more expensive midfield options, more tactical freedom, and far less reason to protect the old hierarchy. Enzo left for the World Cup as one of Chelsea's untouchable players. He may return as the man with the most to lose. Chelsea confirmed Barco's arrival from Strasbourg on a 7-year contract until 2033. The club officially described him as a versatile midfielder, even though he began his career as an aggressive left-back. During his time in France, however, Barco was transformed into something far more dangerous for Enzo. A left-footed central midfielder, capable of controlling possession and moving the entire team forward. Barco made 58 appearances for Strasbourg, scoring 3 goals and providing 11 assists. His performances earned him a place in Argentina's 2026 World Cup squad, where he became the youngest member of the team that reached the final. This is not Chelsea buying another young player to hide inside its enormous squad. This is Chelsea buying the player who attacks Enzo's footballing identity. Enzo's greatest value has never been speed, physical dominance, or goals. His importance comes from his ability to drop toward the defenders, receive under pressure, and dictate where Chelsea's next attack begins. Barco now threatens exactly that. He naturally moves into the left side of midfield, the same area Enzo regularly uses to influence the build-up. He can receive the ball close to the touchline, move inside, dribble through pressure, or play forward before the opposition can reorganize. Enzo usually controls a game through passing. Barco can progress it through passing and movement. Chelsea have not signed a reserve version of Enzo. They have signed a more mobile version of his role. And the most personal part of the threat is that Barco is another Argentine. Enzo was supposed to be Argentina's midfield authority at Stamford Bridge. Now, a younger international teammate has arrived with the profile to take the ball from the same positions and move Chelsea forward without him. Barco does not need to replace Enzo's nationality, language, or place inside the Argentine group. He only needs to replace his position. The only brief uncertainty is whether Chelsea's English supporters will immediately embrace another Argentine midfielder, especially after Barco's heated World Cup clash with Jude Bellingham created hostility among some fans. But football supporters forgive almost anything when a player starts winning matches, and Barco is only half of Enzo's problem. Morgan Rogers has already arrived from Aston Villa. Chelsea confirmed the England international on another contract running until 2033, and Xabi Alonso has publicly discussed plans to use Rogers alongside his close friend, Cole Palmer. Rogers is not Enzo's direct replacement as a deep midfielder. He is something worse. He closes Enzo's escape route. Whenever Enzo is pushed higher, Chelsea expect him to combine around the penalty area, make late runs, and turn possession into decisive actions. That role has never brought the consistent attacking production expected from a midfielder operating so close to goal. Rogers lives in those spaces. He drives directly through the centre. He protects the ball with his strength. He attacks defenders instead of waiting for the perfect passing angle. And when the attack reaches the penalty area, Rogers naturally thinks like a forward. Barco takes away the beginning of Enzo's job. Rogers takes away the end. That means Enzo cannot escape Barco by moving further forward. Morgan Rogers is already waiting there. Before we go deeper, subscribe to the World Cup Whistleblower for the stories hiding beneath football's biggest transfers, power struggles, and dressing room battles. The player who makes this entire system possible is Caicedo. Chelsea do not need Caicedo to become Enzo. They need him to remain exactly what he already is, the defensive foundation. Caicedo can recover possession, cover the spaces left behind by attacking teammates, and protect Chelsea when the move breaks down. His presence allows Barco to play with greater freedom and gives Rodgers permission to attack the penalty area. That produces the midfield Enzo should fear most: Caicedo, Barco, Rodgers. Caicedo wins the ball, Barco builds the attack, Rodgers finishes it. Together, they replace Enzo Fernández. Chelsea have divided his responsibilities between three specialists. Caicedo provides the defensive security Enzo cannot. Barco controls the build-up from the areas Enzo normally occupies. Rodgers provides the acceleration and attacking output Chelsea want when their midfield moves forward. There is no obvious fourth responsibility left for Enzo to own, and there is no fourth place in a three-man midfield. The combination could also give Cole Palmer more freedom. Palmer needs space between the opposition's midfield and defence, but when Enzo moves higher, he can enter the same central areas where Palmer wants to receive. Rodgers is also capable of playing close to Palmer, but his direct running gives Chelsea a different movement pattern. He can burst beyond the defence while Palmer drops toward the ball. Barco remains deeper. Caicedo protects them both. The structure becomes cleaner, the movement becomes faster, and Enzo's absence removes one more player demanding possession in front of the opposition's midfield. That matters under Xabi Alonso. Chelsea's new manager has inherited the authority to reshape a team that finished 10th in the Premier League. The club has not appointed him to protect the hierarchy built by previous coaches. It has backed him with an aggressive transfer campaign and players designed for a quicker, more vertical system. A new manager does not inherit old guarantees. He inherits options. And Alonso now has the option to build his midfield without Enzo. Chelsea's spending makes that threat impossible to dismiss. Rodgers has arrived as one of the most important signings of the summer. Barco has been given a contract until 2033. Caicedo remains fundamental. Palmer is still Chelsea's attacking reference point. All of them expect major roles. Enzo's old transfer fee cannot protect him forever. Chelsea once built around him because he was the statement signing. But football does not preserve old hierarchies out of respect for old receipts. Chelsea have spent again, and the new money has purchased the exact qualities that once made Enzo indispensable. Barco offers creativity and control. Rodgers offers power and penetration. Caicedo offers defensive certainty. Palmer offers invention in the final third. Enzo suddenly offers qualities Chelsea already possess elsewhere. His weaknesses, therefore, become harder to ignore. He is not as explosive with the ball as Barco. He is not as dangerous near goal as Rodgers. He is not as dominant defensively as Caicedo. For years, Enzo survived because he could connect different parts of Chelsea's midfield. He did a little of everything while the team lacked specialists around him. That protection has disappeared. Chelsea now have a specialist for every phase. Of course, Enzo remains an elite midfielder. He has more experience than Barco. His long passing can change the direction of a match instantly. He has played under enormous pressure for both Chelsea and Argentina. Barco still has to prove that his development in France can survive the speed and physical intensity of the Premier League. Rodgers is also not a deep playmaker. He cannot simply drop beside Caicedo and reproduce Enzo's passing range. But none of that removes the threat. Enzo does not need Barco to become a better individual player than him. He only needs Barco and Rodgers to become a better combination for Chelsea. That is what makes this situation so dangerous. If Barco controls possession and Rodgers produces decisive actions, Alonso will not care which of them can reproduce every part of Enzo's game alone. Coaches select functioning combinations, not matching profiles. And this combination could change Chelsea's transfer position as well. Previously, selling Enzo would have created an enormous hole. Chelsea would have lost its main distributor and then needed to spend heavily on a replacement. That replacement is already inside the building. In fact, there are two of them. Barco can absorb the creative responsibility. Rodgers can absorb the attacking responsibility. Caicedo remains behind them to preserve the balance. Chelsea no longer need to panic if another major European club begins asking about Enzo. They can listen, they can negotiate, and they can enter the season knowing the midfield has already been rebuilt. Chelsea did not spend heavily to give Enzo Fernández more help. They spent heavily on the exact qualities that once made him impossible to remove. Barco can control how Chelsea's attacks begin. Rodgers can decide how those attacks end. Caicedo controls everything in between. Enzo Fernández has gone from being Chelsea's midfield solution to becoming the fourth piece in a system with only 3 places. He can fight Barco for control. He can fight Rodgers for attacking influence. But he cannot fight both while Caicedo remains untouchable behind them. Chelsea have already built the midfield that can replace him. The only question left is whether Enzo loses his position first or leaves Stamford Bridge before it happens.